and welcome back. I am your host, Susanna May O'Hagan, and today on Gummy Bear Podcast Land, we are going to talk about Barbie and Rapunzel. Ironically, I actually grew up with this movie, which just tells you how old I am and how old this movie is. Barbie as Rapunzel. Barbie as Rapunzel is a 2002 computer animated fantasy film co-produced by Mainframe Entertainment and Mattel Entertainment and distributed by Austrian Home Entertainment. An adaptation of the 1812 German fairy tale Rapunzel by the Brothers Grimm, it is the second in the Barbie films, with Kelly providing the voice of Barbie. Barbie as Rapunzel was released on VHS and DVD on October 1st, 2002, later making a television premiere on Nickelodeon on November 24th, 2002, and was subsequently released overseas through entertainment right as Universal Pictures Video. The film was nominated for 8 DVD Premiere Awards, winning Best Original Score and Best Animated Character Performance for its main antagonist, Gothel. Gothel. The story is told by Barbie to her little sister Kelly, who is insecure in her painting abilities. Rapunzel is a young woman with long, floor-length hair who lives as a servant to the wicked witch Gothel. Gothel claims she saved Rapunzel from abandonment as a baby and resents Rapunzel's hobby of painting pictures of places she'd like to go someday. Gothel's manor is magically isolated from the rest of the world, so Rapunzel's only friends are Penelope, a young dragon. She's so cute, and I do mean Penelope. And Hobby, an anxious rabbit. One day, Rapunzel and her friends inadvertently open a secret passage where Rapunzel finds a silver hairbrush engraved with a message from her parents and framing their love. This leads Rapunzel to question Gostel's story. They also find a mutilated portrait of a man. Following the secret passage, Rapunzel is led to the kingdom outside. She saves young Princess Katerina, or is it Katrina? Katrina, from a pit trap, with the help of Katerina's older brother, Prince Stefan. He explains the trap was set by King Wilhelm of the neighboring country, who has an ongoing feud with Stefan's father, King Frederick. Rapunzel leaves in a rush without learning Stefan's name to avoid Gothel discovering her disappearance. However, Gothel's pet ferret, Otto, the ferret is so annoying, who spies on Rapunzel for his mistress, tells Gothel all that happens. When Rapunzel insists she doesn't know Stefan's name, Gothel destroys Rapunzel's art and supplies and transforms her room into a high tower. Gothel also threatens to punish Penelope's father, Hugo, if he does not keep Rapunzel prisoner. That night, as Rapunzel sleeps, the hairbrush magically transforms into a paintbrush. When Rapunzel attempts to use the paintbrush on the tower wall, a portal to the kingdom magically appears. Rapunzel uses it to meet Stefan again. Though, is it Stefan or Stefan? Stefan. Stefan? I'm not sure. Though she insists he never tell her his name for fear of Gothel, Stefan gives her an invitation to the masquerade ball that night. Returning through the portal to the tower, Rapunzel paints herself a beautiful costume, but is again betrayed by Otto. Gothel cuts off Rapunzel's hair, shattering the hairbrush and destroying the tower's side of the portal. When Rapunzel once again cannot give Stefan's name, Gothel puts a spell on the tower to never release its lying prisoner and chains Hugo, entertaining to come back later and punish him. With the help of Hugo, Hobby, and Penelope, Rapunzel escapes the tower. As she never lied about not knowing Stefan's name, the spell does not affect her. At the ball, Stefan is attacked by a disguised Gothel wearing Rapunzel's hair. King William and his army are also infuriated. The castle. William accuses Frederick of kidnapping his daughter many years ago, the source of their feud. Gothel then reveals that Wilhelm was the man in the portrait. She loved him, but when he did not return her love, she destroyed the picture and kidnapped his child to start the feud as revenge. Of course she did. Gothel tries to kill Wilhelm, but Rapunzel arrives and Gothel attacks her instead. Wilhelm recognizes Rapunzel as his daughter, and Rapunzel and her friends trick Gothel and Otto into running through the kingdom's side of the portal. Gothel is trapped forever in the tower because of her lying heart, and her other spells are broken, releasing Hugo. Rapunzel is reunited with her biological parents and married Stefan. Stefan or Stefan? Stefan? It's an Fan. The feud ends and the two kingdoms are united. In the end, Kelly feels better and begins painting after Barbie reminds her that creativity is the true magic in art. Rotten Tomatoes. Barbie Rapunzel G 2002 Kids and Family Fantasy 1 hour and 18 minutes. Audience score 67 through 3.1 out of 5. Adjuring rating. Kidnapped by a witch. A princess with very long hair lives in prison in a tower and awaits rescue by a handsome prince. Rating G, genre kid and family fantasy. Original language English. Director Owen Hurley. Producer Jessica. Jennifer. Writer Eleanor Leeson. Release date December 20th, 2016. Runtime 1 hour and 18 minutes. Production Co. Family Home Entertainment. People's reviews. The animation isn't the greatest, but the film has a great story, music, characters, and message. Barbie themed fairy tales a bit passive but arts focused. The greatest 1 hour and 18 minutes of a portrayal of Rapunzel. I find this story a bit more exciting than Disney's Rapunzel. This is other people's reviews. I mean, in the Disney movie, it was just Rapunzel being kidnapped, then raised by Mother Gothel, and then exploring the kingdom, finding her family. But in Barbie's version, it wasn't just about Rapunzel. It was also about the war between the two kingdoms and kings, who Gothel turn against each other. It was about a dragon finding its courage, and another dragon realizing it's not just about power, and a prince looking at things differently. That you don't have to solve everything violently. It's just amazing how much is going on in the background. While in Disney's version, it felt like the 18 years were just went by in a wink, and everyone waited for Rapunzel to come back. In Barbie's version, the world actually continues to turn. Also, I really, really love the magic paintbrush. I think every artist would love to have that kind of brush that makes your drawings real, kind of like a 3D printer, but connected to your mind. That would be so cool. I am an artist. I paint, I sew, I make crafts. I love that stuff. I love watching this movie. I have it on DVD and it's always made me smile ever since I was a little kid. Timeless and adorable. One of the more underrated Barbie movies. Definitely my favorite of the Barbie movies. LOL, all families are adamant, allowed, awesome, and are so cool. Funny, original, romantic kissing, and is not best version of this story. This needs to be made 20 years later. The fact Gothel locked her away because she wanted her to be her child and that broke up the kingdoms plus the dragon makes this a real god type beast. So, I have to admit, I love this movie. I just loved it as a kid. It wasn't my favorite. That would be Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper, but it was like right under it, along with when I wanted to be a ballerina, which would be Barbie and the Nutcracker. And I gotta say, dang, like I love the hairbrush, I love the paintbrush, I loved it. Do I think it's better than the Disney version? No. But do I think it has its own flair? Yes. Do I think the two Rapunzels would get along? Definitely. Like, they would totally get along. It would be so fun to see, like, a crossover or a reamp version, like a remake version of this because it was so good. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was so sweet, adorable. It had some action, some comedy, fantasy. It had everything. And when you're a little kid, like, I watched this at 8. To me, it was adorable and fun. And there was music, of course. Okay, well, I hope you all have a great and wonderful weekend. Bye for now. Okay, export to Barbie and Rapunzel, which I totally loved. Barbie as Rapunzel, I should say. And for all you out there watching, have a great and wonderful weekend too. Bye for now.